MMA Meltdown on the Fight Network continues. As you can see, we're sitting alongside Frank Trigg as he joins us on a weekly basis at the Don Best Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada. We now welcome another man, a Las Vegas resident, a guy that's been tearing it apart, winner of 6 of his last 7 fights, 3 consecutive victories, and knocking people out along the way. Mike Pyle returns to the Meltdown. Mike, always a pleasure, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, Mike, congratulations on the victory. It's good news, bad news. Congratulations on the win, but you got to deal with Frank Trigg.
Man.
Yeah, and I didn't tell you that Trigg was going to be on the interview because I knew you wouldn't agree to do it if you knew he was going to be sitting in.
True story. I had to stop in the middle of a lap dance to do this the interview, by the way.
So,
yeah. It's okay because the guy was complaining about me sweating on him.
The guy was complaining. You weren't down at Spearmint. I was going to say the celebrations continue, but I know you're a happily married man, Mike.
I am. That was a joke.
We're all very happy that Mike is married now too, actually, because it leaves more of the women for the rest of us that are single. So it kind of works out.
So, Mike, congratulations on the win. What's so impressive is you're not just winning fights, but you're knocking out some tough guys. James Head's a tough guy that can absorb punishment. Josh the dentist near. You need a baseball bat to take this guy out. You take him out. Funch is a tough guy. You're beating tough guys. How good does it feel to be finishing fights the way that you are?
It feels great, man. It's been a long time coming.
Now, Mike, this late in your career, you just made a camp change. You left Shingo and went over to Throwdown. How hard was that to come and make that jump? And then did you feel any of that? Obviously, we didn't see any of it in the fight, but did you feel any of it when you went to walk out and doing the warm-ups and all that stuff backstage before the fight actually happened?
No, I've had the same coaching crew now for the past 3 fights, and with that being said, the transition was easy because I was already going back and forth to both of the gyms anyway. I'm just as welcome at one as I am the other, so it really wasn't really a change other than than it being on paper. That's about it. So there was really no transition. John Wood is one of my best friends that owns the gym that I went to now, and I've been for years going there anyway. So it's closer to my house, and everything just makes more sense. It's more family orientated for me, and that's important for me as well. So yeah, it really wasn't a big transition anyway. I'm just down the street from Extreme. I'm more than welcome to walk in those doors anytime. There's no bad blood. There's nothing like that. It's just I needed a change in my career, and I needed to do that, and I felt like that was needed, and it's really helped.
It seems like right now you haven't you have a confidence level that you're going to win, and winning and losing can be contagious, especially in this city. But you almost have that I know I'm going to win, and is it age? Is it the maturity? Is it the fact that you talked about it after the fight that you've got a camp that are only concentrating on you right now? What is it that's making you so confident right now, Mike?
It's not a sense of urgency or anything, but it's just time for me to show and prove, to the public and to myself that I belong in there with the best, and I can beat the best, and I can put the best away. And I know that I can do that. I've always had that skill set. Why now? I don't know. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I don't know. I feel like I'm at the best that I ever have been, mentally, and physically. Everything is the stars have aligned. I feel great. I'm very confident in my coaching staff. I'm very confident in how I have constructed my camps in the past 3 fights, taking breaks when I need it, listening to my body. I'm not 20 years old anymore. I can't just battle every single day and recoup from it. I have to recuperate, and Mike Dolce's helped me with my diet in the past, and I've carried that along with me, and just making all the right changes and everything is really helped, and it's just time for me to prove that I'm that guy.
And Frank, you guys are in the same age set, and
Yeah.
I'm actually older, so I'm not going to call you old, Mike, because I'm a little bit older. But what do you attribute to this? Because as we all get wiser as we get older.
Right.
Maybe not as wise as I'd like to be. I'm still an idiot. With the exception of me, everybody else gets wiser. But what is it that you see right now with Mike that he is, basically, he's never looked as good as he does right now at this stage, which is rare. Fighting guys that are 12, 13, 14 years younger.
Well, going to Couture is, everyone knows I've been friends with Randy since 1990, and Mike Pyle was student one, member one at Extreme Couture when it first opened up here in Vegas. Him, Haran, Catman, those are like the crew. Then comes in Gray Maynard. Those are like the group of guys all kind of came in together. And what's separating kind of Mike from the rest of the guys is, one, he's not scared to make a change. Just like Gray did. Gray moved up to AKA. Mike moved over to Throwdown on paper permanently. He still comes back and forth between the two. But he's also, I don't want to make this sound all lovey-feely and enjoying whatever, but since he got married and settled down in the traveling lifestyle of trying to find the next girl to hang out with, whatever, he's calmed down and gotten smarter because now he's not providing just for himself. He's providing for his wife, too. And that's actually gave him a level of maturity that he kind of already had but needed to put it to the forefront. As a result, now when he goes to practice, he's fully focused. And this is when I see him at Extreme Coutures. The rumor is his practices at Throwdown are even better. So what I see him when he was going to Coutures, he was completely focused, one-minded, single-minded, what an athlete has to be for head. I'm going to beat James Head, so I'm going to beat him, that's what I'm going to do, and he sticks with it. But he does that for the 7 of his last 7 fights. He's had that together, only one flaw in that whole mess. The other 6, he destroys everybody. Mike, my question to Mike is, how far away do you think you are before they start talking about, okay, you're number 2 contender, you're number 1 contender, you're number 3 contender, and does it really make a difference now that we see what they did to Johnny Hendricks, who is number 1 contender, getting passed over for Diaz, who just comes off a suspension?
Yeah, that's hard to say, and without overstepping my boundaries. And
overstep, we don't mind. Overstep your boundaries. Go ahead.
I don't know if you heard too, Chael Sonnen, right after your fight, he said, whoever they want me to fight, I'll fight next. And Chael Sonnen came on after and said, guys, you got to learn from me.
Yeah.
Start calling guys out, and then you'll get those fights. And it's not really your personality right now, but there is such a logjam at the weight class. Where do you see yourself right now, Mike?
Well, like I said, without overstepping my boundaries, you never know what they have in mind. Dollars make sense for them, so I just have to keep continuing building up that hype and proving each time that I get in there that I belong there, and those bigger fights will come. And it's, who knows, it could be this next fight, and then that could put me, and get another performance like I just did. That could launch me right up in there, and nothing happened from there. So I'm just going to keep winning, and that's what I can control. The things that I can control is being in the gym, making sure that everything that I do is the best that I can do, and go and perform because. Like you said, for example, with Johnny Hendricks, he's done the proper things, and he felt like he was in line for a title, and a lot of other people did. But UFC sees it another way, and when it comes down to it, that's they're the boss. They have the final say, and that's it. So I just got to keep winning, and that's basically that's what's in my control. So where do I stand right now? I don't know. That is not in my control unless, I had the gift of the gab like Chael, that talks his way into, those big fights and, and performs for the most part. I'm just going to let nature take its course. A lot of the welterweights were tied up right now in fights. So me calling, me saying, hey, I want to fight so-and-so, then, Joe Rogan will be like, well, he's fighting X guy, and then I just don't want to stumble over myself and call out guys who have a fight coming up that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we'll just let the cards fall as they do because you never know what they have in mind. I just keep winning, and that's what's in my control is to win, not after.
And guys, I don't know if I've ever seen a fight card, that hasn't been officially announced, but it has been, and you pretty much broke the news on this program the weekend after we were in Montreal. Never really seen a fight card, guys, in which really will clear out a division, or at least clear up a picture as much as that fight card in Montreal will, with GSP, with Diaz, with Johnny, and Ellenberger, and with Rory, and with Condit.
I mean, it's going to be that's going to be the weight class. That's going to be the fight that everyone at the weight class is going to be watching. Everyone's going to be looking at it and going, where am I next? And honestly, if Mike didn't fight this last weekend, he would have been on that card as well. He's just one of those guys that they got to have in there because he's up next. And really, Mike, I kind of got to be honest with you. You got to kind of get in shape and kind of be ready to go because I'm pretty sure somebody's going to get hurt.
6 fighters, right?
Yeah.
6 fighters. What are the chances?
I mean, it's better than 20% one of those guys goes down. And as a result, we're going to call Mike Pyle because he had a great fight, a great victory, and is a guy that fights. Every time he fights, doesn't say much, kind of all shucks, I'm a country boy. He comes in and knock guys out. Then they're like, now what do I do? Like, what do I do with Mike Pyle now because he just knocked another guy out? They're going to call you if one of those guys gets hurt, so be ready.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, man, the things that are in my control is just go kick ass, and then we'll see. And then after that card kind of plays out, then there's some talking room. I feel like.
Yeah. How often do you want to fight a year? Now, I mean, you're older. You're younger than me, but you're still getting older.
I can do 3 fights a year. That's fine by me. 4 would be all right. If it makes sense to jump back in real quick.
And how you feeling right now? You got rocked early in the fight. What was it? What was it? A forearm? Was it an elbow? Did you watch the tape after the fact?
You know what? I'm not sure. My coaches say it was a right hand, which I could see that in the fight. It probably stung me a little bit. But yeah, I'll say the right hand. But I was able to maintain my composure and withstand the storm, if you will, and implement my game plan.
I imagine it's, Frank, you can attest to this. I imagine it's much better to fight before the holiday, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't have to go through. You talked about your wife's cooking, Mike, after the fight.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. I'm thinking about guys, Kane and Junior heavyweight's a little bit different, but it's already tough enough to make weight as it is. Yeah. Christmas, holidays, family pressures. It's kind of tough to sit there and, keep your body in the shape that it has to be. It must be nice, Mike. Get a win bonus, get it out of the way, be able to enjoy the holidays and get ready for the next fight.
Yep. Yeah, it's a relief. My sister's about to have a baby. Like she's within the hours. I should have a new little baby niece coming into the world. So, there's a lot of joy going on in my life right now. Everything's good. I'm happy. My stomach's good and full. So, I'm happy. There's a lot of people out there right now that's less fortunate and going through some hard times and. I'm not above that. So, but I'm happy.
Well, I'll tell you, people that walked up to the window on Saturday night and bet on Mike Pyle, their stomachs are a little fuller as well, Mike. And I'm sure they'll want to thank you for that. Hey, man, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the birth of the new baby as well with your sister as well, Mike. All the best, man. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Always a pleasure.
There's Mike Pyle with us, and huge difference. If you'd rather fight on December 15th than December 29th, wouldn't you?
Well, it depends on what weight you got to make. If you're a super small 155-pounder like Frankie Edgar, you're like, man, whatever, it doesn't make a difference to me. I'll still eat Christmas morning. It's
if you're BJ Penn, you're going to walk in at the same weight anyways.
Yes, if he's fighting 170, but if you're like a Mike Pyle who's got to make 170, or your BJ Penn is going to make 155. Or, your Anderson Silva's going to make 185. Christmas all of a sudden sucks if you have to fight the 29th. That's why you have heavyweights on. One, America loves heavyweights more anyway, so it makes sense. North America is all about the big guys. So that makes perfect sense. But then also, too, they get to eat Christmas, and no one really cares.
What didn't make sense, remember they put the heavyweights in Denver.
Yeah,
and Dana was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We're never going to do that again. I thought they were going to die. They were going to collapse.
Have heart attacks up there.
Joey's brought it up in the past, actually. About holidays and boxing and MMA. It's when upsets happen as well, especially with champions. Maybe guys get a little softer during the holiday season.
Especially when you're like a Pacquiao or Marquez who just fought, obviously. They both have kids, and they're very family-oriented. They come from family-oriented societies, and they're very family-oriented themselves.
Got like 84 relatives coming over and stuff.
And they're the richest guys in town. So everyone comes in, so they're under the stress of, geez, I got to get presents for this person, presents for that person. I have this quinceañera. I've got this birthday party. I have my goddaughter, my godson. I have to worry about this and that. Then it's Christmas, and I got to worry about my parents. It's going to be an issue, and it's really, really hard. So, yeah, fighting around the holidays is really difficult for any athlete. We talk about the Thanksgiving Day football matches always.
Yeah.
You always see these upsets coming on, but you always have these traditionally these teams that always compete on Thanksgiving Day. Well, you see these guys fall apart because you got a lot of these rookies or these second-year guys in the NFL are still worrying about their families. They're still, look, I just made a bunch of money now. I'm trying to take care of everybody, and they can't because they got to compete. And so it's always difficult. You always have these problems.
I think Cain Velasquez could fight Christmas Day, and he's focused on Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah, Cain Velasquez.
I don't think that
there is the exception to every rule. That's the exception. Let it. You got to leave him out of it.
Can't wait to start breaking down that fight. It's around the corner. In fact, that's the next UFC fight card. But when we come back, we'll rewind what we saw this past weekend, and now it's official. Although it was lingering for a couple of weeks, and props to Frank, for breaking it on the program. And Tom Wright said, yeah, we're probably coming back to Montreal. You said, oh, yeah, we are. Dana said, not so fast. But I guess they see it. Listen, we know we're going to get 16, 17, 18,000 people. It's a great card. We talk about a card that's going to clear out the fuzzy picture of division. It's this card in Montreal. So,
I do need to apologize. I did say St. Patrick's Day. I said March 17th on the show, and it's actually March 16th, the day before.
Pretty close.
I apologize. I screwed up. I didn't realize what day was Saturday, what day was Sunday, and I just kind of,
St. Patrick's Day in Montreal is a great time.
Is it?
Yeah. You wouldn't figure because it's a French city.
Yeah.
But no, there's a big Irish contingency in Montreal. It's a great St. Patrick's Day party.
Well, if I'm not in Montreal this year for the fight, then I will be in Dublin this year for St. Patty's Day. So one or the other is going to happen. I'm definitely not going to be in Vegas. That's all I know.
You're winning either way, huh?
Either way, I'll be okay. Is all I'm saying.
Come on, man. St. Patrick's Day must be all right in Vegas.
Yeah, it's good, but I live here, so it's like St. Patrick's Day is every day here in Vegas. There's always some tourist in here with beads on and a hat on and half drunk. It's just
Yeah, the rodeo crew just left town. Actually,
I know it was.
It's pretty annoying. Actually, I got nothing against the rodeo people and the cowboys, but every casino was playing country music.
Yeah, well, you gotta.
Yeah,
make your demographic,
I know. Like every casino.
Everyone. Yeah.
It's depressing enough. You're already in a casino losing money, and you got like some depressing country song. You're like, what the hell am I doing at the LVH at 2 in the morning, anyways?
I know. Why am I here? It's time to go. I gotta leave. It's just.
It's actually making me leave. It's not making me. My favorite song in Stations casinos. They just play one all the time. Mm-hmm. It's Sheryl Crow. If it makes you happy.
Oh yeah.
If it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. As you're sitting at the table. So you're thinking, well, I'm losing all my money, but I'm happy. And,
makes me happy.
It's not that bad. They don't play Leaving Las Vegas by Sheryl Crow.
No.
They play If It Makes You Happy. All right, we'll come back with more with Frank Trigg.